News Talk 96.5 KPEL as we continue to watch the investigation ongoing in Las Vegas, and now all the focus has really gone to motive. How did this happen? Why did it happen? And it doesn't seem like the answer is very easy. Jessica Rosenthal from Fox News Radio has been on the scene, has been out there, has been watching this investigation happen, and she joins us on the phone with an update. Hey, good morning, Jessica.
Hi, good morning.
So where are we? What's the latest?
So Sheriff Lombardo said a few things yesterday that I think are of note and kind of important. He said, first of all, they found not just ammonium nitrate, as they disclosed earlier, but another explosive called tannerite, several pounds of that, and as well as 1,600 pounds of ammunition just in his vehicle. The sheriff says he believes this individual, Stephen Paddock, was actually hoping to escape, that he set up cameras inside his room and just outside of his room, hoping to learn of anybody coming, anybody on their way. And that indicates to him that this person didn't intend to necessarily die that day. He also specifically said that they believe that it is likely he had some help. He had some accomplices. He used the word accomplice. He said they're looking to try and find who those accomplices were, if any. But it questions the idea that such an individual could get all of this together, all of these weapons, all of this ammunition, and set all of this up without any help. It is important to note, though, the word accomplice does not necessarily mean that you are a knowing accomplice. You could be unwitting. So it's really important to find out whether it's through his girlfriend or people who worked at Mandalay Bay or anybody along the many months leading up to this, who, if anyone, helped him, not necessarily even knowing they were helping him commit such a crime.
You know, I think the other thing is training. I mean, to know how to do all this, and it seemed like he was an unassuming, older man who gambled a lot, and I don't know if you could learn that from a movie or without actually having to practice this, because it was pretty spot on with the number of rounds and everything that were used. Is that something that they're looking at as well? How did he know how to carry out such an attack?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you speak to, I ran into a former Canadian fire chief yesterday, and he was talking to me because he said, they've responded to large incidents, in their jurisdiction, and he's been a first responder for 40 years. And he was saying, it's important to note that we have the internet. You can find out ways to make stuff, to modify stuff, and if you're determined and you have the money, he was saying, that plays a role. So it's motivation goes to those points. How determined were you to carry this out? What websites did you visit? Who did help you? If automatic weapons aren't allowed in this country, why did it sound like that was an automatic weapon? Did he modify it himself? With enough persistence and motivation, even if you're not an expert, if you've been trying this for a certain number of weeks or months or even years, to try and figure out how to be the kind of person you want to be to commit this kind of crime, all of that is going to be part of the investigation, as well as those financial records. This guy was not necessarily broke, and if he was, how did he become broke? From somebody who, by all accounts, seemed to have some financial stability. So bank records and financial statements are going to also be very important here.
All right, Jessica, so what's next? Obviously the victims, I'm sure the funerals will start happening, the memorials and everything will probably start to happen. What should we look at, of course, as we go through the weekend?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, I think. The attention does shift, not entirely to the victims, but certainly it will, as more and more people care to talk about who their loved ones were. We're also probably going to be hearing a little bit more about people being released from the hospital or people's long-term plans for recovery, depending on the severity of their injuries. And, while we might not necessarily know about a motive anytime soon, we'll probably still get, bits and pieces of information as law enforcement feels comfortable to release things.
All right, Jessica Rosenthal reporting for us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.